process. And one does that by, I think, a person does that by creating a kind of system or structure. This isn't corny, but I used to go to see a lot of sunsets in Santa Monica, and at the end of the sunset, when the sun is gone and it's still burning up the horizon, there's this weird thing that happens, like far, far, far away. You kind of see this burning light stuff. Come on in.
Yes.
And so in that burning light, I see a city, actually, and it reminds me of like some ancient civilization or city. So regarding floating city, what it is I think each one of us is creating our own architecture, and have been doing so since we were like 0. And in my paintings, I know that I have, and that world I think is going to impose itself on all of this, the scene world. So I don't know if that's clear. Okay.
Yeah, so this painting, the Thunderous Expulsion of Hypnagogic, is a painting that you created from a place of inner vision. It is, can you tell us a little about that you actually closed your eyes and you access a place?
Yeah, yes.
How do you create that? How is this
right.
evolving?
The way it evolved, I didn't physically close my eyes for this painting. I didn't have to. When I do close my eyes and I'm in that place, I see an aubergine kind of eggplant colored universe, and like I'm looking at you, and I'm not just looking at you. I'm looking sometimes what's between us, the interstitial space between people, between things, between objects, and that interests me quite a bit as a painter, because it creates an atmosphere and sometimes a mood, sometimes a tone, hopefully. And this is stuff that I don't think about while I'm painting, but we're talking here, so I can talk about it, okay? I'm not sitting there intellectually thinking, now I don't operate necessarily that so self-consciously when I paint.
So hypnagogia is the experience of the transitional state from wakefulness to sleep. It comes from the Greek word hypnos, which means sleep, and the word agogos, which means to send. So I thought this is really interesting that we can access another reality by being in that state of mind. And it reminds me a little of a form of trance, but you don't see it that way.
No. I see it like this entire universe that I think everyone in here has their own private universe that they're working on. And I think it's making its way here. So I know that sounds, and I don't see it as something fantastic or spectacle like science fiction or something like that. I just see that as real as anything else.
When we talk about vision and painting, we talk about seeing and the process of seeing and seeing. And this seems to me like more like a mystical experience that you're talking about, and we're dealing with invisibility. And can you talk a little more how this would be traceable for us, because this is like a language.
For a viewer
Yes,
that is not
yes.
necessarily hearing the artist in a speakerphone while they're looking at the painting. Well, first of all, painting is physical. There's forms. I like to use the materials a lot, and I don't ignore that. Everything I just spoke about sounds very philosophical. But when I make paint, sometimes I use pure pigment with oil. So the physicality of the painting, I think, has a certain groundedness that is not this mysterious invisible thing. I don't know if I'm answering your
Yeah,
question.
no, but you're basically using the pain as a manifestation in the outer world,
Mhm.
something that is graspable and that we can see,
Yeah, yeah.
to represent a place that you access.
Right.
And like that's almost like an inner
Interior landscape,
vision,
or-
like a mystical experience, or
Yes. Well, I mean, if you had a palette and you're on your palette, there are all your experiences, all your understanding and your knowledge, and all these things. So I'm lucky. I have a very good memory, and I could pull something from 1967, the World's Fair, and Montreal Expo '67. You know, going there with my family. I not because of the internet or any of that stuff. I just been able to like remember a lot of these things really clearly. So I borrow sometimes from those things. So experience is one of the things, and it doesn't need to be mystical, but in a nonlinear way, you can pull any experience at any point, assuming you can get to it, and you can utilize it for some imagery.